Monarch when you lot walked in. The stench of sulfur, depression, and desperate bravado is unmistakable.
Yes, we had
Keep talking.
Groundbreaker help us because we helped Groundbreaker and made them into
When
friends.
you go off and get yourself
We had,
shot, try to avoid taking
I think
one
the
to
last
face.
floor was the Iconoclast.
I'll want it recognizable
If you pay
to show
enough
to my
attention to the
citizens.
names of the Iconoclasts on that floor, the Vinoys are actually there helping you, which is kind of cool. Because they're like the only importantly named Iconoclasts to ever show up, so...
My word! You've
It's
correctly
really cool.
identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable.
I like the
It's
Vanoys.
a wonder what Phineas
They're
saw.
smart asses, but they
Then
know
again,
their way around
he's an
gigantic
insane
guns.
person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man.
Yeah,
Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate
he's lying his
fellow,
ass
isn't
off
he?
at the moment.
Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle.
As far as you say.
Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you
Oh,
something.
I think Twitch messed up
thought
yesterday
about
because they
not
didn't send me
fucking up our entire society?
they didn't send me a post-stream
Does
email
that mean someone's
like
recognizing
they
our
normally
work?
do. I'll see if it's fixed
I'm
today,
making
obviously,
actual
but
progress towards stabilization and
it's
recovery.
been a while since they
You're
forgot
just
to
getting
send
in the way.
the stats email. Shouldn't be too much longer, as long as I don't have to get into a big fight. I am trying to do the peaceful ending, so shouldn't be too much longer. Like I said, it was going to take like 10 to 30 minutes. It's been like 12.
Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic outlaw.
It is
Yes,
the final
I'll try to be
mission
more
of the game,
open-minded
so
about
it
your
takes a minute.
path of wanton descent. We don't need your help.
It is the final mission, and it takes a second.
You have? Is that what you were doing at the ministry? Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the
We lie our
castle,
ass
as it were,
off.
and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
Alright. So, we've turned him into our puppet. More or less. You don't have to use the dialogue option that admits that you did that, but we don't have to kill him. We don't have to kill him. We just turn him into our puppet. He's a self-preservation man. He will just go with it.
All right, MSI. I'm not one
Sanjar is
for
here.
rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight.
Sanjar is probably the best one of all the people who decide to end up helping us, just because of his speech. He's so dumb, but it's great. Move out of the way, please. We need to get in the elevator.
This is it, huh?
Take a breath now, folks. Once we're up there.
Okay,
suspect we
so
ain't
this
gonna have
last
time to
part,
stop
you
shooting.
either fight a giant robot, hack a giant robot, or avoid a giant robot. Obviously, since I'm going for the good ending, I'm gonna try not to have to fight a gigantic robot. It would not be fun at all.
Captain, you have an
But that
uncanny
relies on me
talent
having
for
the right stats at the
complicating my
moment, and
life.
I don't know if I do. If I have to
You've
fight the
been
giant
working
robot,
with
I might
Dr.
be
Wells from the
I
beginning.
might be fucked.
When we moved to
put
arrest
things
him,
lightly.
he was prepared.
Because I know I
I
can't hack
lost
it right
good
now.
soldiers in the attempt. You've disrupted the balance of power.
To hack the
You've
robot, you need
upset the
100
natural
lockpick and
order
100
of
hack.
things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty.
Alright, it's over.
I'm
Stand
afraid
down.
I can't do that. I'm
She a
aware of
bitch.
your diplomatic talents,
She's an
Captain.
overly confident
You have a
bitch.
gift for manipulation, but I warn you, I'm no easy mark. For all your talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon, and therefore you are my enemy.
raw. What's funny is if I actually end up having to kill her,
You make a nuanced
she
and
takes
compelling
one bullet
argument.
and that's it. You
Here's
just
my
line up a
rebuttal.
slow-mo shot with her forehead and
No.
she's dead instantly.
Dr. Wells is
It's the
being
robot
held
that's the
in
problem.
my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All
That
that's
chair
left to
looks
do is
very
put down
violent.
this riot, arrest you,
She looks like
and then
she's gonna
get
like
on with the
shoot
bloody
plasma
business
right
of
into
saving this
into his
colony.
freaking brain. Let's talk about this.
Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one chance to parlay with me.
Yeah, you really only do get one chance, which is annoying. But as you can see, there's 100 persuade. But look at the other option. It's 90 intimidate, 60 heavy weapons, and 60 two-handed melee. What kind of check is that shit? Like, that's insane.
Interesting
Oh my
that you think I'm
god.
going to
There's
die
like
here.
3 different checks,
I
and
believe
I don't
I'm
even
more
have
than
stats in
capable of
either of
taking
them. I
you on.
mean, Intimidate's probably one of the highest I had for that one at 55. I think heavy weapons might be at 50 due to me boosting long guns, but like, goddamn. That shit is ridiculous.
Fair point. I don't know how you've managed to defy the odds. By every reasonable estimate, you should be dead.
You have a
Yet
very
here you
stupid guy at the
stand.
gates of Tartarus.
I've devoted my
hard
entire
to
life
find
to
the odds this
protecting
time.
Halcyon. I'm not
Oh,
afraid
God.
to die in the line of duty.
The board is not worth dying for.
There isn't much of a board left, thanks to you.
That is true.
You've thrown this system
We
into
didn't kill
disarray.
anybody, but
Cleaning up your mess
at
will
least
be
I
the
don't
work
think
of a
we killed any
lifetime.
of the board members.
You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells.
The guy behind you. And this is why we want 100 lie, because you get 100 lie, you either need max perception for that one, which I think I have 6 perception instead of 7 perception, whatever it may be. Either that or it's 7 instead of 8, I don't remember. And then you have persuade 90 and science 90. My science could have only gotten up to 80, and that's if I put the last 10 points into science, it would have been up to 80. But there's a reason we went with 100 lie.
Rockwell said that. Chairman Rockwell? That's absurd. You're lying. This is another one of your tricks. I've been the chairman's most reliable associate.
Let the situation out of hand. Rockwell wants you gone.
That's ridiculous. Halcyon is collapsing. The labyrinth is rioting. You're running wild through the colony. And I let the situation get out of hand?
Yeah,
I have given the chairman
she
nothing
did put
less
trust in
than
us,
a
so it is
lifetime
kinda her
of
fault,
loyal, honorable service.
to be honest.
And this is how he repays me. By leaving me twisting in the wind. Enough.
Yeah, everybody's
I'm not going to
disposable,
stand here
even
bickering
her.
with you. I was expecting the chairman's support,
Oh,
but I'll have to do without. I haven't given up on the program yet. You've caused some
please
complications,
tell me
but
I can
I
still
can
end this
improvise. I
peacefully.
can fix this.
I don't want to fight the robot.
I haven't lost control of the labyrinth yet. Our security system is still operational.
Oh, please don't
I
make
can
me fight
still
the robot.
put a stop
I think
to
I
you.
fucked up the dialogue options.
Yes, I'm quite aware of your brazen act of corporate vandalism. By the way, those test subjects you killed, they died in agony.
I know.
My
I heard
scientists
them
assure me
joking.
they can recover the data you've destroyed. You've succeeded in temporarily delaying our research. Nothing more.
Please don't make me fight the giant robot. It's
That
critically
isn't
flawed.
true.
Alright.
It can't be.
There's a point
You're
to having a
trying to
science skill.
manipulate me.
Yes.
That experiment was
I hope it saves me
absolutely
from fighting the
essential to
robot. I really
program.
don't want to fight
My
this thing.
scientists
It's so
assured me
frustrating.
they were close to a breakthrough. They gave me their word.
The robot is so frustrating. I don't want to have to fight it. Perception? Help
Damn
me,
you.
please.
You are telling the truth. My scientists have been lying to me, and I was stupid
God.
enough to trust them at their word. We're going to have to start all over again. All that research, all those experiments. You've set us back decades. I don't see any reason to continue arguing with you. I know when I'm beaten. The only thing left to do is
Did I do
surrender
it?
with dignity.
Did I do it?
Congratulations,
It was going
Captain.
so bad for a minute there.
You've outplayed me. I accept your terms and will return Dr. Wells to your care.
Oh, thank God. That went so badly.
I just hope you've made the right decision. The fate of the colony is in your hands
That
now.
went so badly.
I bid you farewell.
So fast, and I
Captain.
don't know what the hell I did wrong. But as you can see, this door is locked now, which is the robot door, which means I did things correctly. We would have had to fight that. Because the only way to stop that fight, if you have to go down there, is 100 lockpick and 100 hack. And I don't have 100 hack. So, thank frickin' bejesus that I made it through that with the correct dialogue options, because that fight is, I mean, it's not like it's super hard or anything. I probably could have done it, but it would have been something that I didn't want to have to do. But basically we need to pick up the chairman's key and then just save Phineas and watch the credits, man. Holy shit. Could have gone so fucking
You
wrong
don't know how
so
glad
fast.
I am to see you.
You have no...
You must
I
have
am. I
said
don't
something
have
to
to play
get
the
under
damn
Akande's
robot.
skin. She's gone, and I don't think she's coming back. And you
Holy
lunatic,
crap.
you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande
just
wanted
gonna
my
go with basic
cooperation.
dialogue.
I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of
I
us
mean, we
ever
already know about
anticipated.
the situation, so no surprise.
Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago,
To
the
be
Earth's
honest, a lot of
Directorate's
people
frigate
are
disappeared on
thinking
their
that
way back
maybe
to Earth. We
this
don't know what they
storyline
discovered
and
when
the
they
Fallout
arrived,
3
or
storyline are
if they
going on at the
arrived at
same
all.
time.
They
Nuclear
haven't exactly
apocalypse in
been
the world,
hands-on around
and
here anyway.
everything.
So there's one less
So,
rubber
you
stamp
know,
to worry
Earth can't
about.
really respond to them
Earth
because
is humanity's home planet,
got their
Miss
own problem
Fenhill.
going on with
the
super mutants and
psychological
shit.
effects of losing our original home will be
But
devastating.
I don't know.
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to make do on our own.
Holy goddamn.
We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
Right.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the hope's brightest
We must
minds.
begin the
And
process
then
to
we're
pop
going to
my
fix
kneecaps
this damn
because they feel
colony,
stiff as
one
shit from
problem
sitting
at
where
a
I
time.
have.
We're going to need a leader, and I
Goddamn.
can't imagine a better person for the job
Oh,
than
man.
you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Okay, so you can either say, I've got plans with the chairman in my pocket, and no one's going to know I'm running the colony, or, I'm going to run this colony, I've already convinced the chairman to take my side. I'm gonna go with that one.
The chairman? I don't know why you let that heartless
But,
creature live, but I'll have to trust
Is
your
what it is,
judgment.
you know?
You're the
No
best
biggie.
thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're
course
not
we're
a
gonna
colony
leave
any longer, are we?
not done.
Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
He's crazy in the head. That was the easiest time I've ever had with the last area, but goddamn, that last conversation was terrifying. I thought I was gonna have to fight the goddamn robot. Holy shit.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens
Normally I
according to
die
the
at least
grand
once
plan.
in that last area of the game.
But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an
Normally I
unplanned
do.
variable.
At least one time.
From the moment he landed
But I decided
in
not to
Emerald
fight
Vale,
everything.
his actions altered the course of history.
We're gonna chill
The
and watch
events on
this little,
Tartarus brought
little
about
story
the
bit.
end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists
Like the
and
details of the
engineers
science
woke up
outfits,
in a
like the
colony
one we have in the
descending
game.
headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon.
You.
The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority,
That's actually
many
Roseway,
of the
which is,
colony's settlements banded together with a
surprising.
single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound
I
freedom.
think the only companion
The
I
board
finished
was
their
gone,
quest for, too, was
and
Sam.
for better or worse, the colony
Ellie's.
was responsible
Finished
for
Ellie's
its
and
own
Sam's. How's
destiny.
it?
Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast
ending.
manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life.
guess
Adelaide
that's the
transformed the old cannery
most ways.
into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer.
Yep.
Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the Lifetime Employment Program
Okay.
forced Byzantium to come
I
to
might grab
terms
something to
with
eat
some
before I do a
uncomfortable
second thing.
about
So,
the state
no
of
biggie.
Halcyon. While Byzantines
I haven't
were
eaten yet
reluctant
today,
to surrender
so
the
I might just
luxuries
grab
they'd
something
grown
real quick.
accustomed to,
Make some ramen or
the
something.
board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs.
Oh no.
It was
people
a
had to get
dark
jobs.
time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony.
I find
no
it sad
celebrations
because
in the streets.
his ending that he's
There
getting
was
right
only the
now,
hard, desperate
and the
work
good ending
of trying to repair a broken colony.
that you can get by
Felix
doing
never
this
had a
quest,
head for numbers, but if there was labor
are
to be
not
done,
very different.
he was there
Poor,
to
poor
help.
Felix gets screwed over by me,
Eventually,
but he also
Felix
gets screwed over by
realized
the game.
that the work of a
He
revolution
didn't really get a
was done
good
with
ending.
2 hands. After all he'd seen and heard adventuring with you,
I didn't finish
the
it.
vicar
Sorry.
Maximilian de Soto renounced his faith and joined the effort to rebuild the colony. Ironically, he finally found the joy that had eluded him over the course of his life, and realized that perhaps he was always meant to be just a simple laborer after all. He quickly dismissed the idea. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. She seemed to prefer the company of
I think
Ada
I'm sad
to
about
the crew,
Parvati's ending for this
and she
one
could often
because
be
it could have
found
been
neck
so much
deep in
better.
cables and grease, telling Ada funny stories from her childhood.
Her quest
While
line
the
is just
colony
so
fell
difficult
into
to get it
chaos,
to friggin'
she found an island
spawn
of relative
so you can
peace
actually
with
do it.
Ada, and they formed an
It's
unusual
real difficult
bond.
to get the second half of her quest
She
line.
decided to
I don't know
remain
why
aboard
it
the
is, but it
Unreliable
takes so
permanently
long.
as its chief and sole engineer. As hard as she tried to drink them away, Nyoka's
yeah,
memories
hers is
eventually
sad as well.
overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as a constant reminder of the family she'd lost, and so she eventually returned to Monarch to get back to what she found most comfortable: the deep end of a bottle and the far end of a trail. Few have seen her since, but travelers often swear they hear her and her machine gun in the night, screaming swears and spitting bullets. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread
Sam.
awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the
robot gets a happy
longest-lasting,
ending,
toughest
but
acting
half of my
cleaning
squad does
solution
not.
in Halcyon?
The only
Minister
reason he gets a
Clark was
happy ending is
released
because we
from
turned him
house
on.
arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense
God.
of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. It was widely suspected that Sophia Akande was the true power behind Chairman Rockwell. However, after the riots on Tartarus, she was never again seen in the colony. Various theories
Like I said, that last
circulated as to her
conversation
fate.
with her was stressful. as
Some
all hell.
believe she boarded an interstellar ship capable of journeying to a distant colony. Others believe she died trying to escape Tartarus. Some few suggest she fled to Monarch, where she continued to live among a small band of loyalists. There is another theory, which suggests that Sophia's encounter with you changed her, and she deliberately retreated from public view, but continued supporting the colony in secret. When Dr. Wells began reviving the Hope's colonists, he found himself with a sudden windfall of additional supplies and resources, courtesy of an anonymous donor. If Wells knew who his supplier was, he never told a soul.
That's her
As for
good
Dr.
ending.
Phineas Wells,
Basically,
he
we just
spent
let her
his
live.
remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals.
The crazy
In the
man
end,
had
Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope.
I'm bad.
Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save
Part
the
of all
colony,
this good stuff is also
but he
what we
would
chose
never
to do by
live to see
leaving
the
that
fruits
one
of his labor.
chick alive.
He passed
Something
away a
Shark
few
Fin?
years later. His work
About
was
the food
carried on by the
situation?
scientists and engineers he
I don't
revived.
think she gets an ending. but
Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The
Leaving
people of
her
the
alive
colony
definitely
work
helps with
hard
things.
to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon?
All right. Look at
You
Title
brought
doing
an
his mod
end to the
job.
riot on Tartarus.
I was about to
and
do it
partnered
myself,
with
but he
Chairman
got to it before
Rockwell
me.
to run the colony together.
Nicely done.
As Halcyon looked toward the future, you remained a constant presence in the colony's administration. You were never weighed down by bureaucracy, and you never had to dirty your hands with politics. You
I've been
had
getting a lot of those
people
bots
who
showing
did
up
that for
lately.
you.
I don't know why.
By your influence, Halcyon survived
for
the
quite some
turbulent
time.
years that were to
It
follow.
just started coming back again.
No one knows
I don't know
what's
if it does.
happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Yep. In the end, we win. Beat the Outer Worlds. This one will be split into probably like 3 parts, roughly, and go up on YouTube, probably later tonight. As I said, this was super freaking short. I at least expected 2 hours out of today, and I probably wouldn't have even got close to an hour and a half like I have if I didn't go deal with Hortons and everything, which I still find it funny that her dead body did not actually match her AI sprite for above ground when she was still alive. That was kind of funny to me. But yeah, we got done what I wanted to do today. I'm gonna go make some ramen real quick because I'm kind of hungry. I skipped breakfast to try and get this done, so I'm kind of hungry right now. But we will be back in maybe about 10 to 20 minutes or so with some Apex for today. Do a couple hours of Apex today. I'm already going to do more this weekend, but I might as well just do a little bit today to compensate for the fact that Outer Worlds finished quite early compared to what I was thinking. So I'll be back with that. Title said he's going to join us. So we have Title to play with us. And I think since it's after 1:30, if Salem didn't go to sleep since she got home, she might join us as well. We'll see about that though. If not, I'm sure Jay or Jaguar or somebody will join us in Apex to play a little bit. But yeah, I hope everyone that stopped by enjoyed. And I'll catch you guys in a little bit for a couple hours of Apex for the night. Alright? Bye. Have a good one, guys.